you know I'm ballin'. I'm a strike. Make it rain just to let you know. Yeah, you cannot see me, the windows is tinted. Yeah, driving around right in that Bentley. Hey, you driving around right in that Bentley. Hey, but your shit, it just be rented. Hey, but that is none of my business. Hey, money won't stop me, go straight to the top. Believe it or not, you like getting the same. Yeah, she know I'm a rock star. Looking at my chain, on my diamonds rock hard. Turned the way up, I ain't getting tired. And if you wanna race, then we gonna ride. Yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, every day I'm shot callin'. I'm a strike. Make it rain just to let you know. I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, I've been ballin'. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Giants going up against the Cowboys. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's the marquee game of opening weekend, and off we go on a Sunday night on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by their two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, Eli Manning, in season number 14 now.
Eli getting the start here in week 1, and that means his consecutive start streak is now up to 200. His brother got to 208, so right about mid-season, he could be breaking that mark, but still has to try and chase down Brett Favre, who finished with 297 consecutive starts.
Manning now on first down. Big hold of the 30. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep. Well, that catch just gives us another reason to praise Odell Beckham Jr. Off to an incredible start to his NFL career.
3 Pro Bowls, 3 straight Pro Bowls, obviously, and first Giant to do that in more than 50 years, Charles.
And how about the numbers that he's put up also? 1,300 or more yards and 10 or more touchdowns in each of those 3 seasons.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Shotgun now for Manning. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Malik Collins busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets...
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard from 6 yards away. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A first down throw for Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. Spins away. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Prescott on first down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Jay Bromley forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Second down, Prescott. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now the Cemeteer man, Chris Jones, on to kick. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. And we see his collection of highlights. He's always so tough to cover.
He really is.
Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
The Cowboys' defense is characterized by its cohesiveness. When you look at them position by position, you're not often impressed. But when you play together collectively, as the Cowboys did in 2016, you find a defense that ranked #1 against the run and were a tough team to solve for everyone who tried to move the ball against them.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Manning. Over the middle to Beckham. A giant first down. Manning to an open Beckham.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Throwing on first down is Manning. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll try to run it with Vereen. And he's going to pull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Shane Vereen taking it in from a yard out. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. Yeah, and he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, Elliott. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
As explosive and dynamic a playmaker as Brandon Marshall's been in his career, can you believe he's never been to the postseason in 11 years?
Yeah, 11 years. He's hoping to get there, obviously, with the Giants. One thing's for sure, didn't have to move his locker far. When he went from the Jets to the Giants, same facility.
You keep the same address as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Shane Vereen, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Giants add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Our focus now moving to Des Bryant as he heads back out there. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Damon Harrison forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them, they've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter what this man is. So
pressure comes and down he goes. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. Here's Vereen, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you? Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think
he's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Justin Durant with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. And Rosas puts this one through. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And out now come the Cowboys. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Manning now to throw. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come out here in the eye. On second down, here's Manning. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Demarcus Lawrence able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
To throw is Manning. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bryant. And he gets it down to the 32. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Not to turn away any of our viewers, but worth mentioning, I suppose, no team has ever come back from a deficit of this size and won an NFL game. The largest ever was 32 by the Bills over the Oilers. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Ross Cockrell. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in our... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
First down, Prescott. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Darian Thompson. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stick on the ground. Again, it's Marine. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. From the gun on third down, Manning. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
That's third down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And a little floater there is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
On fourth, they do snap it to Prescott. That's to his running back, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. The numbers for Dak as a rookie last year are still kind of mind-boggling. And you look at QB rating. Dak was 104.9. Now, among full-time quarterbacks, only 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks, Matt Ryan and Tom Brady, were higher.
And look who we finished ahead of. Guys like Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson. Amazing.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On second down, Prescott again. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. Third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. He completes it to Bryant, and he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Manning going to try and throw on 3rd down, and that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The punter wing is on as he sends this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Prescott now on 2nd down. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Looking to throw. Prescott. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 12 yards there as they move the chains. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Prescott looks to throw on first. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. And again, it's Prescott. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. Desperation time for Smith on fourth down. And he lost the football. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
And this is complete. It's Marshall. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that is going to set up third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it. Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. Elliott a first down and more. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they have.
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
But depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game, because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, Prescott stripped. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. Now they got to get to the line quickly. A second down throw for Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Third and long for Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
On first down, here's a handoff to Vereen. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call again.
Yeah, little fish. I say, Lord, be my savior when it comes to getting this paper. People take me from my haters. Just say me and I won't save us. Say amen. Amen, amen, yeah. Amen. That boys in that game win. Can't win, can't win, can't win, can't win. Jet. Going up.
Get ahead on your preparations for this week's game by setting up your game plan.
Going up.